How did Kristaps get through practice today? Is there a chance he'll go tomorrow?
Yeah, got through practice well. Looked pretty good. We'll see how he is tomorrow, just how he responds to it. But I thought he looked good today.
What was the focus of practice today?
Obviously a little bit of both. It's another day where we had work yesterday. Focusing on Chicago, some of the things that they do well, but at the same time, just working at the things that we need to get better at as a team. So just trying to find that balance of, our opponent game plan execution, but also, where we need to be better as a team regardless of who our opponent is.
What kind of chunks do you break the season up into? I know you're heading into a new one now.
Yeah, I mean, everything just kind of depends on, how we're playing, and really it just comes down to the three buckets of, like, what needs to be fixed or worked on immediately, what needs to be fixed over the next, 5-10 games or so, and where do we need to be long term. So just breaking them up into those three things, and then just kind of going back and forth on when we can address those.
You mentioned the three-pointer temp rate that Chicago's played with this year. How did that challenge you guys in the first game, and how do you want to react to that over the next two there?
Yeah, I think everything depends on just which ones you're willing to give up, right? You're not going to stop people from, playing their game, so to speak, but you got to be what you're willing to give up there. And so just kind of going through the objectives that are tomorrow, that was kind of the focus of today, is like, here are the points that you have to live with, here are the points that, we have to take away, and here's how we're going to go about working to take those things away. So against a team that plays like that, and teams in general, really, it's just a matter of what can we take away, what can we control, what are we willing to live with.
I feel like teams are taking more threes in general this year, and how does that kind of impact some of the matches we've had to face early on this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, we kind of talked about that yesterday. I think it's just teams are playing just different. I think teams are, I think transition pace is up. I think turnovers are up. I think driving the ball is just as much up as the threes are. And so I think each team is doing a great job of kind of playing to their strengths of their roster, and that's the challenge of going into every game is what are the strengths of their roster, what can we take away from them, and how can we do that over the course of an entire game.
Joe, I know it's all about winning for you guys, and you guys are doing that, but what would you say to fans who say that watching teams stand around and do all these threes from the
Our fans say that?
I mean,
Boston
just fans
fans?
in general. I mean, Adam Silver said he's looking into just some of the different styles and things like that. So it's becoming a conversation. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your take?
It's an interesting perspective, I think, because in the NFL, people aren't like, I want to see less scoring. They're not going to make the end zone smaller. They're not going to make the field smaller. So, like, scoring is up across in other sports. And I guess my question would be is why in basketball is scoring up being an issue as opposed to other sports? Does anybody want to watch a football game and see less touchdowns? So I think at the end of the day, I think, anything new or change is different, but, I don't know.
Speaking of change, what do you think of the new format for the AllStar Game? Do you have any feelings or thoughts?
What is it?
It's going to be a tournament style, 24 players divided into 3 teams, and then the winner of the Rising Stars will be the 4th team, and then a tournament with 3 games.
I could care less.
Well, considering you'll have a lot of guys there.
I hope they're safe. I hope they're healthy. I hope they enjoy it. Other than that.
And you could go back again this year.
Thanks for reminding
as
me.
coach.
Yeah.
To figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Kind of to follow up with a three-point question, I think there's been a lot of discussion around like NBA ratings and like ratings being down. Like, what are the reasons for that? Is it the product? Is it the messaging? Is it other things? Do you have any thoughts on that? Is it a conversation you pay attention to at all? And do you have any thoughts on maybe how the game is discussed or sold that maybe is contributing to it?
No, I mean, I add to that. I don't watch NBA games, so I'm just as much the problem as anyone else is.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't like watching the games.
Joe, you got the Bulls back-to-back here. Are there certain disadvantages and advantages to playing the same team twice? Do you like that throughout the course of regular season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be good. I think you go against you kind of look at how you're going to go about them in the next 2 games. It's kind of like a playoff situation from the standpoint of there's a day in between, and depending upon how the first game goes, do you have to adjust? What do you have to take away? What do you have to be better at? And so I kind of like that aspect of it. It presents a challenge, either way. If you win, what can you do better? If you lose, how do you have to improve? So, I don't mind that at all. I think it's pretty fun.
Joe, you don't watch college, right?
I watch certain matchups in college.
Yeah. They have to be good.
I like watching Auburn. I think Bruce Pearl's a really good coach. Watch Florida Atlantic, Utah State. Really, the guys that I used to coach with or the people that I know, I like watching them. UConn, I like to watch UConn. Who else? Gonzaga's pretty good. West Virginia.
With NBA, it's not fun for you to watch. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm around it all the time, so I'd rather watch something else. Yeah.
What do you get out of watching those college teams?
I think the blend of European basketball to college basketball, that because the shot clock's longer, they run more unique stuff to get their guys the ball, and so you wouldn't be able to run what a lot of those teams run, but you could run like abbreviated versions of those sets. And so I think college coaches are pretty creative, and there's a lot that are coming from the NBA into college, and so the creativity that they show over the course of a longer shot clock to get that, you could look at that and abbreviate some of that stuff to kind of to run. So I think that's fun to watch.
Would you want to extend the shot clock in the NBA?
No, I don't want to make it less. Just play faster. Yeah.
You want like 16 or?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, why not?
Chaos.
Just mess up the game even more.
More threes.
Yeah, and more anything. Just more transition, more opportunity. Yeah.
Do you ever think of any ideas or would want to bring something to the league in terms of changes to the rules or things like that? Is that something you think about?
Not like in a serious manner, but I like watching other sports and seeing how, the free-flowing sports do things differently. So I like that. So I just enjoy the what-if scenarios of what if one sport adopted the rules of another sport. I like in cricket that you can just keep wearing the pitcher down by fouling off on purpose. There's a huge mental, psychological component to just wearing this guy's arm out by just keep foul balls until he can't pitch anymore. I love the idea of that. So I like just watching the different sports and the different rules that go into those things. All right, we're really bored. We have a lot of days off, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.